And that's written into the contract. I would anticipate West Parkview will take a length of time, but on the Nova Chip, that's about a 1 to 2 day project. We've already done the crack sealing up there. And then on those 2-inch mill and overlays, which are your Broadways and your 61st Streets, those should probably be done within a 14 to 30 day period. So they'll go relatively quick. And we've had conversations about them anticipating being completed before the 30-day deadline.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Is
Yeah.
that a motion, Ben?
Yeah, I'd also make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you, Ben. Jim?
I'd second that.
Okay. See no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Okay, on to new business. Discuss and consider resolution in opposition to proposed Evergy energy rate increase. And this is just something I saw another local municipality do as well, and I thought it would be a good thing for us to jump on and do the same. So I would entertain a motion to approve. Jim?
I don't really have any questions, so I would move to approve Resolution 1171-2023, a resolution in opposition to the proposed Evergy energy rate increase.
Thank you, Jim. George?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on this? Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 6-0. Motion passes. Item 7, discuss and consider an amended resolution determining the advisability of sanitary sewer improvements for Prairie Hills 4th Edition. Sean?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Petitions for water distribution, sanitary sewer, and paving improvements were all filed with the city clerk and approved by the council back in April. They were signed by the owners of records of more than 1/2 of the area liable for the assessment for the proposed improvements, and therefore the request was made to not go forward with a public notice or hearing. While uncovering the existing sanitary sewer line to install the new manholes, existing electrical and communication lines were discovered on top of the existing line, making it near impossible to install the new manholes without relocating the other utilities. Rather than waiting and paying for additional costs for the utility companies to relocate the lines, the engineers and contractors came up with an alternate layout installing parallel lines north of the existing line. The change does add additional pipe, 2 services, and requires minor modification to the precast manholes. The developer has chosen to repetition and amend the cost of the work being completed, only on the sewer side of the house. The original petition was for $145,000, and the amended petition is for $170,000. The description of the improvements in the improvement district, the method of assessment on all that remains the same between the 2 petitions. So there is no physical impact, and staff recommends approval.
Thank you, Sean. Is there a motion on item 7? Jim?
I don't have any questions and thought it was a pretty good workaround, and I liked it. So I would move to accept the amended petition and approve Resolution 1172-2023, a resolution amending and supplementing Resolution number 1150-2023, which determined the advisability of making of certain internal improvements in the city of Park City, Kansas, making certain findings with respect thereto, and authorizing providing for the making of the improvements in accordance with such findings.
Thank you, Jim. George Glover?
Yeah, I second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Move to item 7B, discuss, consider approving change order number 2 for Meese Construction for Prairie Hills 4th Edition sanitary sewer.
And sir, I apologize for not getting this added into the agenda earlier, but this is the change order as a result of the discrepancy that they discovered. It's for the additional cost for the alternate layout installing the parallel lines north of the existing line. The change order adds additional pipe, 2 services, and requires modification to the precast manholes. The total cost of change order number 2 is $15,187.
Thank you, Sean. Ben?
Yeah, I just make a motion to approve the change order as presented.
Thank you, Ben. Got Jim?
I'd second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Item 8, discuss and consider purchase of one lift station pump and one 6-inch bypass pump for the main lift station. Gina.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. On September 1st, staff received high-level alerts for the main lift station, and it was discovered that neither pump at the main lift station were functioning. A boat anchor was discovered in the well and is believed to have been the cause of damage to both pump impellers. We installed a bypass using a 6-inch pump to move wastewater from the wells directly into the force main, which takes the wastewater to CCUA. The current inventory of wet well pumps are one Fairbanks Morse pump, which is our Cogent vendor, and one Flight pump, which is our JCI vendor. Being that they're two different brands, they're serviced by two different vendors, and staff work to receive repair prices on both pumps. Cogent quoted repairs to easily exceed $35,000, but never officially submitted an estimate for that. JCI quoted repairs to be $35,389. However, this is the same pump that we've had work on twice at an approximate cost of $30,000. Due to the cost of repairs to either pump, staff is proposing to purchase a new Homa pump with a lead time of 16 weeks at a cost of $39,446.60. Back in April, council had approved the purchase of a Homa pump to act as a backup for the main lift station pumps. The Homa pump is expected to be received in November, and staff is proposing to use the backup as one of the two needed pumps for the lift station. There are $1,700 in modifications needed to the well to make the connection from the Flight pump to the Homa pump. Additionally, the lift station is currently working solely on a bypass system with a rented 6-inch pump until the Homa pump can be received and put in the wet well. Staff is proposing to purchase a 6-inch pump from Cogent at a cost of $48,091, at which point the pump could be received in 1 to 2 weeks after purchase approval. And Cogent has agreed to waive any rental fees with the exception of delivery and setup upon the purchase of their pump. So we've had it out there approximately a week. We anticipate another week or two. That cost would be in the thousands. So that is a generous handout on their part. The 6-inch pump would prove beneficial in many functions of our water and wastewater, as we could utilize it in any similar situations at any of the 7 lift stations. We could have utilized it at the Primrose lift station during those issues. We can utilize it when we have large water main breaks. It is beneficial in a lot of areas for us. The financial impact, these are both unbudgeted items to be paid from the utility fund in the amount of $48,091 and the capital project fund in the amount of $41,146.60. And I stand for any questions you may have.
Thank you, Gina. Jim?
I would move to approve it for discussion, and I'll bite. Who anchored their boat in our lift station? Did you say that right? There was a boat anchor in there that caused the damage?
It's a boat anchor, yeah.
Seriously, how does that even happen?
Putting
that
it
you
into
know.
a manhole. I mean, we find all kinds of crazy things. We find beach towels and anchors, and, I mean, you just never know what's gonna get into the system. But, yeah, that was a pretty shocking one for us.
And it cost the taxpayers $48,000.
Correct.
That's just,
The
I don't know
only
which
piece of
camera's on,
mine-
but I hope everybody's paying attention to this one.
Yeah, the only peace of mind I can offer you is that those pumps are about 14 years old. And so it does make more sense to purchase a new pump as opposed to rebuilding those pumps again. But it would have been better to have done that down the road than right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't question the decision to fix them at all. There's some, dare I say, comedy in a boat anchor being in a lift station, but a very expensive piece of comedy.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all I
Jim, would you read the rest of that motion, just so we have on record what funding we're using?
Okay. I would move to approve the purchase of one lift station pump from Cogent at a cost of $39,446.60 to be paid from the capital project fund. Retrofitting costs from Cogent at a cost of $1,700 to be paid from the capital project fund. And one 6-inch bypass pump from Cogent at a cost of $48,091 to be paid from the utility fund.
Thank you. Ben?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Jim and seconded from Ben. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Governing body reports, Jim.
I don't have anything to report tonight.
Okay. And I neglected to say earlier that Brandy did let me know in advance that she wouldn't make it tonight, so. George?
Well, I would like to thank everyone for the birthday deal they give me. It came as a surprise, but it was humbling. It's nice to be thought of, and I sure appreciate it. And since Jenna was up there, I had a thought, back during the fishing derby, she was out there helping remove algae, and I don't know whose rubber boots those were that she had, but I think, I think the city ought to get Jenna a nice pair of rubber boots, so she don't have to borrow the guys.
Make that happen, sir.
Thank you, George. Tom?
I don't have anything tonight.
I'll make them quick, just a couple of things. But first one is, I think we should congratulate Gina on her new certification where she passed the small systems water and the wastewater certification. And from what Sean said, in flying colors. So congratulations to you on that. And then the other thing I had was at the SAC meeting this last Saturday, Jim Howell, Sedgwick County Commissioner, gave a talk on the local ad valorem tax reduction, which is an act that went into effect in 1965 but hasn't been paid since 2003. And so he's on a trail to get that thing activated again. And it's basically by statute, 3.63% of the state sales tax and use taxes is supposed to be returned to the cities and the counties. And they got it through the House, but failed in the Senate. So to get that reactivated so they could start paying that, and that would make a nice little help to cover property taxes, but we need to get it through the Senate. So he's on a rampage to get that done. But anyway, I've got some information here on it if you'd like to have it. And that's all I've got.
Thank you, Charles. Ben?
Yeah, just a few things here real quick, and they'll be, first thing, come out Saturday, 9 o'clock. Leakers, I'll be there for coffee. This month again, so last month we had a big work thing, so I couldn't do it, but come on out this Saturday, 9 o'clock. September's also just, there's a couple things that are important here, at least closer to my heart, that just wanted to pass along. September is one, it's National Suicide Awareness Month. And just in the last, I think in the last 4 weeks, there's been 2 individuals I know, 21 and younger, that have committed suicide. And it's a staggering number. The statistics, though, prove that it's actually men 30 to 50 that are at the greatest risk for suicide. And so these are things that we need to keep in the forefront of our mind, especially as we look to what the county is doing, what the city is doing, what the states are doing in terms of a mental health facility in our region. And I think it's important that us as a city look to see how we assist in that there, because there's, again, probably out of everyone here in the building and those watching or that will watch have been affected by suicide somehow. And so I think it's one of those things, again, just to keep in the forefront of our mind. The second one is another thing near and dear to my heart, and that's it's National Blood Cancer Awareness Month. This is, again, another one that's very close to me just from familial history. But just a few statistics. It's every 3 minutes that somebody in the United States is diagnosed with a blood cancer of some sort. And it's every 9 minutes that somebody dies from a blood cancer in the United States. And this is the staggering statistic, is that 80% of all children who are treated for some sort of blood cancer will have a recurring second type of cancer. And that's because, unfortunately, as we try to make research available and work done in the blood cancer field, what they haven't been able to do yet is develop a true children's treatment option. Right now, most treatments are done with adult treatments at children's level, and that's not the best way to serve. So, just against some staggering statistics, I will say I am pleased to. I guess I did a little bit. I get to have the privilege of co-chairing the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's event for 24 and 25, which I am excited about, just to continue to raise awareness to that. The third and final thing is much more happier, and it's more because it's a heritage thing. September begins Hispanic Heritage Month here in a couple days, and so proud of my heritage and my history. So I figured I'd end on a happier note.
Thank you, Ben. George?
I don't have anything tonight.
Very good. So just an update on our home building permits for the year. We are at 97 year-to-date. Last year at this time, we were at 18. So we're well ahead of where we were last year at this time. That is all I have. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Ben?
So moved.
Jim?
Second.
Motion by Ben, seconded by Jim. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned.
I think we just set a record.
Not much, a little bit.
I just about said aye.
Was a record. Say non-debatable.
No, you didn't.